Ooh, that's a bingo. Is that the way you say it? That's a bingo. You just say bingo. Bingo.
We did it.
How fun.
We did it. We did it. Episode 62, ladies and gentlemen. Short story bingo. I am your host, Nate Chacon III. If this is your first time, welcome. If it's not, the retention program is working. What I do on this podcast is I'm a glorified narrator to stories that you have heard and some that you have not. It's like Libro.fm, sort of. Thank you guys so much. We just wrapped up our 3-part series on the mob. I took a week off because I am promoting for my upcoming album. As some of you guys might know, I also make rap music, hip-hop music. So I have a new album coming out the same day that this, the same day you're hearing this podcast, which is on December 18th, called Darby Hent. So, whatever streaming services you use, go check that shit out. 17 tracks. Very, very proud of it. But that's why there wasn't an episode 62 last Friday. Having said that, though, today we are going to read How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This book is 69 pages, written by Theodore Geisel, or Dr. Seuss, as he's also known as. We'll take a deeper dive into that here in just a moment. But before that, we want to make sure to thank our sponsors. Please visit extratmedia.com. If you need to have a music video filmed, record an audio single, or get a drone shot of your business or home, need consultation for a project, and much more, visit extratmedia.com. They have a range of services to help any of your media needs. We're also partnered with Libro.fm. When you make the switch, enter Story Bingo at checkout for your new membership to receive 2 audiobook credits instead of 1. Libro.fm makes it possible for you to buy audiobooks through your local bookstore, giving you the power to keep money within your local economy, create local jobs, and make a difference in your community. Whether you're paying for a monthly membership, giving an audiobook gift to a friend, or buying audiobooks for your organization, Libro.fm splits the profits from your purchases with your local bookstore. Here at Short Story Bingo, I go through the King's English bookstore, bookshop rather, here in Salt Lake City, which is located on 1511 South and 1500 East, kingsenglish.com. And Short Story Bingo is also partnered, as you guys know, with Jazzercise. Brandon Harris and his team have created an innovative product that works over 40 muscles in your face. Honestly, y'all, every single day is Black Friday sales. When you enter the code Story Bingo, you get 60% off your entire purchase. So, like even on Cyber Monday when they were, this doesn't make sense now, but like just know that you get 60% off. Just put in Story Bingo at checkout and you get 60% off. And we're super happy to have that partnership. Jazzercise.com, JAWZRSIZE.com. That's for my audio folks. And if you're watching, then you'll see it here. Having said that, please email me at shortstorybingo@gmail.com. I got a couple emails in reference to the states from a couple Utah cats saying that whatever algorithm is being used by Podbean is not counting them. But Florida, Idaho, and Texas are still the top 3 states. And the top 3 countries are the Netherlands, the United Kingdom, and Iran. So to folks abroad, thank you guys for listening. I certainly appreciate it. And then I want to do a quick thing on our random Twitter follower shout out. We're actually do a random Instagram follower shout out. And today it is Dover's D0VERZ. She's been following for about 4 weeks now. Has been very engaged, so I certainly appreciate you. And yeah, let's get into it. Episode 62, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Let's have fun, have some laughs. Intro music right about now. Nate Chacon III.
Short story bingo. Short story bingo. Short story bingo. Short story bingo. Sometimes they're funny and sometimes they're sad. Most of the time they're funny because I hate to be sad. Short story bingo. Short story bingo. Short story bingo. Short story bingo. But don't take my word for it. Spare fingers.
All right. Here we go. Okay, so just a little bit back of a backdrop. I wanted to just go over some of the facts about this book and its publication and who wrote it. I didn't realize Dr. Seuss's real name is Theodore Geisel. First off, so good play with going with Dr. Seuss, man. Great pen name, It'd be weird if we were just calling you Ted Geisel, but probably not also. Anyway, so this was originally published. Full transparency, I didn't realize, I fucking thought Dr. Seuss's publications were like fucking late 1800s. And that's really ignorant on my part for sure, because this was fucking published October 12th, 1957. So not that long ago was this published. So the Grinch first appeared in a 33-line illustrated poem by Dr. Seuss called The Hubbub and the Grinch, which was originally published in the May 1955 edition of Red Book magazine. Isn't that a chicks magazine now or something? Anyway, Dr. Seuss began work on How the Grinch Stole Christmas a couple of years later, around the beginning of 1957. So, sounds like the Grinch was a previous character. Around the beginning, he had recently completed The Cat in the Hat and was in the midst of founding Beginner Books. Okay. All right. So the Grinch was a previous character. He decided to revive him and make him steal Christmas from the folks of Whoville. But I just thought it was really interesting that it was published in 1957 and not like 1857. And his name is Theodore and not Doctor, All right, so here we go. This is apparently for Teddy Owens. So shout out to you, Teddy, and hope you're doing well, man, All right, I'm super fucking excited for this, for real, man. Okay. How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why, no one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right, weird. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight, new size. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Whos, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a mistletoe wreath. He doesn't like kisses, it sounds like. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here. Then he growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming. I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow, he knew, all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys. Did I miss the page? Nope. They'd rush for their toys. And then, oh, the noise, noise, noise. That's one thing he hated, the noise, 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 noise. Then the Who's young and old would sit down to a feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, feast, feast. They would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least, because he's vegan, so he doesn't fucking, you know what I'm saying? So I get that. I understand that totally. And then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Whos would start singing. They'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing, 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 sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how? 53 years? How old is he? That is, I didn't realize there was a specific number in there. I don't know if they mentioned that like in the movies or the awkward musical that just came out with the guy that plays the Grinch and he's super sexual, but whatever, that's another topic. Well, I guess it's this topic, but 53 years. Why for 53 years I put up with it now? All right, take it easy, man. Shit. After 53 years, like you have that, you come to that point where you're like, dude, it's been fucking 53 years, bro. Every single, like Care Bears, they just hold hands and they just start singing, and I can't believe all the noise they make. And he's big. So is he 53 years old, or is he like 66? Like at 13, did he start like hating the Who's, you know? And at like 66, he's like, I'm done. This is it. I'm going to go down there. And be careful at 66 if you're listening to this and you're 66. And I'm happy that you're listening to this if you're 66. That's really cool. Then he got an idea. An awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. Ooh, I like this picture. He's all like, I got an awful idea. It's also the cover picture, so that's probably why I like it too. A wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do. The Grinch laughed in his throat. and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and clucked. What a great Grinchy trick. With this coat and this hat, I look just like Saint Nick. No, you fucking don't. Because you're green still. All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around. But since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No. The Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead with his 3D printer. Just get it. So he called his dog Max. Then he took some red thread and he tied a big horn on the top of his head, which is low-key fucking, looks like animal abuse. If you want to take a look at that picture right there, that is certainly suspect on Max. So I'm feeling for Max right now, his dog. And where did he get, like, all good that he got the antler? Well, and it says he tied a big horn, and this is clearly not a horn. This is an antler. So let's learn what horns and antlers are. Whatever. Okay, and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he hitched up old Max. You gotta fucking figure it out, Max. Then the Grinch said, get up! And the sleigh started down toward the homes where the Who's lay a snooze in their town. Ooh, night stalking. All the windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air. All the Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square, this is stop number 1, the old Grinchy Claus hissed. And he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Don't need a bag then. Oh, he's going to steal. Okay. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch. But if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once, for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little Who stockings all hung in a row. These stockings, he grinned, are the first things to go. I'm looking at the pictures here. There's a lot of cool little details. For Auntie Who, for Uncle Who, Who Express. This guy, the Grinch, I'm calling him a guy. The Grinch is just out of the fireplace flue. And these, there's 5 Who's that are sleeping. You know, this is how scary movies start. You know what I'm saying? 5 Who's sleeping right there. Okay. These stockings, he grinned, are the first things to go. Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present. Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn, and plums. And he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimbley. Or chimney. Whatever, That still would have rhymed. Let's try that with chimney, And he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. Probably better. I don't know. Theodore, I don't know if you're still with us, but, But he said stuffed them in bags twice. Okay. Up the chimbley. All right. Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beast. He cleaned out that icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took their last can of Who hash. Damn, dog. Clean them out, man. Yo, even, I'm looking at, these got Who Cheetos? What's going on with these things right here? General Who Electric. That's funny. Because, General Electric, but it's General Who Electric. That's funny. Okay. I like that. And their Christmas tree. He took all the ornaments off the Christmas tree and everything, dog. Straight up on that fucking scante, fool. He's tripping. He's tripping. Look at his eyes. His eyes are red. He looks like he's high. He does not look happy. He's clearly not happy. If you're having a moment like this, seek some help, I'm fucking this up. I know I am. All right. Then he stuffed all the food up the see, we go from chimbley to chimney. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. And now, grinned the Grinch, I will stuff up the tree. Damn. And the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove when he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. That's a dove. He turned around fast and he saw a small Who. Little Cindy Lou Who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter who got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said, Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why? Pull at the heartstrings. Also, she's 2 years old. But that the old Grinch was so smart and so slick. He thought up a lie and he thought it up quick. Why, my sweet little tot, the fake Santa Claus lied. There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, then I'll bring it back here. And his fib fooled the child. Then he patted her head. And he got her a drink and he sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Then the last thing he took was the log for their fire. I don't know if they have power or gas, so you're taking their heat source now. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire. And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Damn, the mouse is looking at it like, yo, dog, fucking, I don't even know what I'm going to eat this with. Then he did the same thing to the other Who's houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's mouses. Okay, so multiple populations are being affected right now. Fucking rodents and Who's. It was 15:15 dawn. All the Who's still abed. All the Who's still a snooze. When he packed up his sled. Packed it up with their presents. The ribbons, the wrappings. The tags and the tinsel. The trimmings, the trappings. Check this picture out. This is funny. Max. I gotta give it up to Max, dog. I mean, when you see how impressive how many presents he has in this sack, which is no longer a sack at this point. It's more like a black hole of cloth, but it has a ton of shit, and Max is like right at the front. You know what I'm saying? He's just killing it. There we go. Look at Max, killing it. I also want to comment on the fact that Cindy Lou Who is 2 years old, and I just watched The Grinch, and she is not 2 years old in The Grinch at all. And I don't know, maybe like 2 years old in Who years is like 2 years old in dog years, so she's like 14 or something. But she looks like obviously she's just not 2 years old, 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet. Okay, 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet. He rode with his load, to the tip top to dump it. Pooh pooh to the Who's. He was grinchiously humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry boo-hoo. That's a noise, grinned the Grinch, that I simply must hear. So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low. Then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry, very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. They don't give a fuck, fool. They don't give a shit, dog. They're like, no presents. Bro, we got ourselves, and that's unity, dog. That is unity. That's community. That's the shit that I like to hear, and we do that with Libro.fm. Just put in your code StoryBingo at checkout, and you'll be helping out a local bookshop inside of your community. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same. Yo, also, Dr. Seuss, Theodore, dog, you are fucking a rhymer, homie. You know what I'm saying? And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet, ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Not sure what the fuck. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. See a doctor if your heart grows that quick. And I mean, you probably have a heart murmur too. Also very fucking, especially with everything going on, And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light. And he brought back the toys and the food for the feast. And he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast. And that is that. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Wow. I actually have never read that, so that was fun. Obviously I had some takeaways when I was reading it, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are enjoying your holiday season. This is all fun, I'll read I don't know what I'm gonna read for next week, but it'll be something fun. I'll probably read like Rudolph or something. But I think this is just a fun time. And if it's not fun, then I don't know. Sorry, that sucks. Either way, this book also, just his stories in general, Dr. Seuss made it a point, like some writers that like include like himself have made a connection between like the Grinch and Dr. Seuss. Like in this story, the Grinch laments or doesn't like that he has to put up with fucking the Who's and the celebration of Christmas for that specific time frame. What was it? 53 years. Which I just read before reading this. Coincidentally, Dr. Seuss was 53 when he wrote this story. So there's been that connotation that Theodore was not in love with Christmas. And so maybe this was his own cathartic way to get over that. And, you know, when he said it, almost honestly, when it seems like it's a little deep when he says this part at the end. It came without ribbons, it came without tags, it came without packages, boxes, or bags, and he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something that he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more. And it sounded like he was talking to himself, honestly, if I'm being super thought about it. Or excuse me, super frank about it. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. It's weird that the Grinch ended up being the villain and then also comes back to be the hero. So, The Grinch, episode 62, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Thank you guys for riding with me again. My name is Nate Chacon III. This is Short Story Bingo. Check us out on our social media at Short Story Bingo. Make sure to visit Jazzercise at jazzercise.com. Extra T Media at extratmedia.com. George Life at georgelife.com? Okay, georgelife.com. Check out my new album, Darby Hent, by Gabino Grimes. That's my rap moniker. I certainly appreciate all the support, and yeah, let's have a good time with this one. And happy December, be safe, and yeah, all that business, man. And one more shout out to Dover's. Follow her D0VERZ on Instagram. She's a great follow and big supporter of the show. So I certainly appreciate it. Having said that, episode 62, Short Story Bingo, How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Dun dun dun. Spare fingers. Cheers.